everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, or good night, wherever you might be in the world, right? This global platform is an amazing device. And welcome to Conversations with Geoff. Boy, we have a treat for you today. I got to tell you something. For those of you that have been following us, we really appreciate that. And for those of you that are new, when you hear this, make sure that you share this, subscribe, and tag your friends. And drop a note in there where you're from, how you like the show, and if there's something that you'd like us to talk about, please, please, please let us know, because our focus is around three things: relationships, health, and wealth. And I got to ask you a question. Do you remember the days when we didn't have a worry in the world, where we laughed, we ate, we played, we slept, and we did it all over again? How many of us remember those days? I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? And then life shows up, and then the messages start to change. And then for me, you know, it was some of the things that were heavy on my mind, heavy on my spirit, man. Life wasn't as fun anymore. I didn't laugh as much anymore. And the story about myself began, all the things that people said that weren't true, you know, and that stays with us. And man, I want to tell you something today. Listen, you're going to hear from a gentleman that's going to just help you understand the power of changing the conversation with yourself about yourself. A man that's overcome adversity. Oh boy, just like many of our guests, you know, they're here to serve you. So you are in for a treat. Because remember, our mission is to tell you and help you understand the power in changing your life by changing your thoughts. My name is Geoff Tyson. I'm the host of the show, and I come here with full commitment to serve you at our highest level, not only in my messaging, but again, the guests that we bring to the show. Because there is no better time than now for you to step into your greatness. There is no better time than now to link up with community like this. And there is no better time than now for you to experience the power of the messages of the speakers that we have. And today is not going to be any different, right? So let's get right to it. I want to let you know about a young man I met just recently. Boy, he's a coach, NFL player, ex-NFL player, author, speaker, dad, pastor. And look, this man's, they've got 10 kids in the family, right? Not 5, but 10. And he does it all. So ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let me bring to the stage our guest today, Mondoe Davis. What's up, man?
What's up, Geoff? How are you, sir?
Oh, fantastic, Mondoe. Fantastic, man. You?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so honored to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about the work that you're doing through relationships, health, and wealth. Those are three things that are really dear to my heart. And I just believe that you're doing a great work helping people all around the world through the message that you're sharing. So, Geoff, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, man, we could not pass up the opportunity to have that big, beautiful smile and the gifts that you're going to bring today, man. So, hey, let's get right to it, because, I mean, let's just keep it real like we were talking about. Life's not always convenient. You know, I screwed up the date and the time, and here you are still showing up, man, and your wife's telling, I mean, what's up? Let us know about what's happening right now in your world.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. You know, this is a very, very organic moment, because this was not on my calendar. You and I had talked about it, and I think I dropped the ball. I'm in the car. You and I are trying to schedule it. And this week, my wife left and went to Delaware because we're caring for a sister-in-law that's been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in her spine, her liver, and her breast. And it was an emergency situation. So my wife had to leave because she's a registered nurse by trade. She took off to Delaware to help them get set up and really start this therapy process so she can get healed. I'm at home with the kids. Yesterday, I'm driving, and my drive shaft goes out in my van. We got a 15-passenger van. So, Geoff, the van we drive is the one that people think is an Uber shuttle service, and they're calling into my vehicle trying to get a ride. I'm like, this is my van. This is not Uber XL. Okay, you need to go to the other one. I'm driving yesterday, man. That thing goes out. It's in the shop. So we're driving on one vehicle. That's like 4 or 5 seats in it, man. I'm doing my shuttle service, getting the kids to and from school, trying to hold it down. And then you call me, you're like, hey, man, I'm supposed to have you on the show right now. And I thought to myself, oh, Lord. So you know what? You got to be instant in season and out of season.
That's it.
And I wasn't necessarily prepared in the sense of saying, okay, yeah, we got Geoff tomorrow. We're ready to go, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
Why? Because everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah.
I recognize that everything we need, God has already put it on the inside of us. So for me, I'm like, you know what, Geoff? If you still have this time slot blocked out, we made a commitment. Let's go.
Yeah.
You said, okay, here's the link, and boom, here we are. So thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Oh man, yeah. Well, thank you for doing that. First of all, our prayers go out to your family, as always, and also for relief on getting the van fixed, man. And I won't let you take the heat. It's my show, my responsibility. So thank you for being gracious enough to hang in here and let us see who Mondoe is.
My pleasure. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah. We've met, interestingly enough, as you probably know by listening to him, audience, the man has a powerful voice. And we were in the Great American Speak Off, and just a little insight, he doesn't know this yet, but he may be on the commercials that they are going to be airing in the show. Don't hold me to it, but I just saw something that I just had to tell you. So if I blow it, sorry, but just really just sharing your message, man. And as I said earlier, we're always about bringing in people that are humble and gracious enough to tell a little bit about the dark side, the struggles in their life, man.
Yeah.
And you're talking about it now. Really, just today is real life. The van's going down, your wife's gone, your kids going on, you're potentially losing a family member. And what do you do? What can you share with the audience that has kept you moving? Have you here today showing up like life is okay?
Yeah. I feel like we can be okay in the midst of challenges and struggles because we still have the gift of life.
Mm.
And when you think about that word life, it's an acronym, life invested for eternity. In other words, we still have an opportunity to show up in the world and deliver something that's going to add value and leave the world a better place than we found it. Now, things aren't going to always be perfect. And I've realized that through, having feedback on my childhood about, coming from performance, right? So I was raised by a military father in the Army who served 20 years in the United States Army. So big shout out to all of our veterans out there. Love you guys so much. Military traveling, right? My dad's 6'2", all muscle. Mom is about 5'2", all pit bull, just, So everybody in the house was scared of my mom. You know what I'm saying? My dad's a big, very, very authoritative man, amazing human being. But everybody was worried about mom. She's 5'2". She worked in a maximum security correctional facility that was an all-male prison, by the way.
Oh my goodness!
So she is tough as nails. My mom is tougher than a $2 steak.
That's tough too, because boy, you can't get that with a jackhammer.
So listen, nobody mess with mama.
Yes,
and coming out of that kind of background, very structured, very disciplined, but yet the most supportive environment and encouraging environment that you could ever be raised in.
Mm.
I was so grateful for that. But as you culminate that and pull all that together, they saw a gift in me when it came to athleticism. They saw a gift in me when it came to communication. Mm-hmm. So they put me in environments to really begin to thrive in those areas. And over the course of time, I was able to go through high school. I went to a high school in Newport News, Virginia called Woodside High School. And it was a brand new high school when we started. And Geoff, I joined the football team as a freshman. Mm. And you are not going to believe this when I tell you, but we went 3 years in a row not winning one game. I had enough my junior year when Hampton University had a quarterback by the name of Ronald Curry, 6'2", 225 pounds in a high school. This dude's a man amongst boys.
That's a giant, man.
He was a big dude, and he was fast. He was agile, he was strong. And they put up 88 points against us in one game. I said, this is not right, coach. You need to just try the cheerleaders. Put the cheerleaders in the game. Let's see if they can score a touchdown or a field goal. We couldn't even do a field goal. It was a bad time playing football. And I remember being so frustrated that I came home. I told my mom, I'm quitting. I'm done. And she said, Mondoe, I want you to go into the bathroom with your little pimple face. I want you to look into the mirror before you quit. And I want you to ask yourself one question. I want you to look yourself in the eyes. And I want you to ask yourself one question. Did you give your very best?
Yeah.
So I walk in the bathroom, like, all right, mom, whatever. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? I go look in the mirror. Mondoe, did you do your best? And Geoff, there was something that happened in that moment because my eyes dilated, my pupils fixated, and it was as if I was looking into my own soul.
Wow.
And I knew I could not lie to myself.
Wow.
And after 3 years, after 30 games and not getting one W, I thought to myself, I'm not a loser.
Yeah, say that.
I'm a winner. I don't care what the scoreboard says. I'm a winner.
Yeah.
And when I looked in that mirror, I thought to myself, yeah, I did. And I came out and told my mom, she said, well, this is what you need to do. Don't quit because you're this close to your breakthrough.
Wow.
There's 10 other guys on that team that you're not responsible for, but you can encourage and inspire and lead by example. Geoff, fast forward after that moment, I went back out on the field, and next thing you know, I'm the first student from my high school at Woodside High School, student athlete to get a full scholarship to college.
Wow.
I wound up graduating from the University of Delaware in 3 years, and we wound up winning a national championship, 40-0.
Oh.
And now I'm on the other end.
You're on the other side. You made it.
I felt after we beat them, and I had compassion for them, but it sure felt good to win the game. So I wound up getting my master's degree after that in a year and a half in the University of Delaware, and then get picked up by the New York Jets as an undrafted free agent. And I just, man, going back to the moment of being under the night lights, playing against the Minnesota Vikings, I remember it like it was yesterday. The sound of the raving fans filling the entire stadium, the whistle being blown, the ball being kicked, and running down the field thinking, man, this dream has come true. And I hit the opposing team. Everything goes black. And they take me into the locker room. They do some tests on me, and they say, Mondoe, we have good news and bad news. Which one do you want first? And I say, give me the bad news. I said, the bad news is you tore your ACL. You're done. At least 18 months, you're out. And I said, well, what could possibly be good news after that? And they said, Mondoe, the good news is we still want you to be a New York Jet. So at that moment, Geoff, I realized that the enemy lied to me, whispered in my ear and said, Mondoe, NFL for you means not for long.
Not for long, yeah.
But God said, no, it means newfound life. And now you're about to step into your true destiny to help people around the world to take their pain and turn it into their platform, to take their tragedy and turn it into triumph. And there was a quote by Dr. Cindy Trim that changed my life, and it is, could things be the way they are because of the way that you are? What is the one thing that you can change that will change everything? And I realized that I could change my mind.
Yes.
I could change my perspective about my circumstance. And that was the process that transformed my life, because I went to a meeting that a pastor was having. And out of 5,000 people there seeking the Lord, and he plucks me out of a crowd of 5,000 people and says, the Lord told me to hire you.
Wow.
And next thing you know, I'm on an airplane the next week. And fast forward a year later, and I had been to 30 countries around the world helping people to find their true purpose in life.
Man.
And in that journey, my wife and I got married, college sweethearts, and we've had 10 beautiful children together. We've been together 20 years, and we've been married for almost 17. She is my shero.
Yes, sir. Say it again.
She is my shero. She's an amazing human being. We were best friends before we got married, and I couldn't imagine spending my life with anybody else.
Well, you guys must have got married when you were 12, man.
I appreciate that, Geoff.
Yeah, boy, that's just so many nuggets along the way, man. If I could just hold on for just a second, and you know, I like the whole thing about life, right? You made something. Life, was it life invests for eternity?
Yes, life invested for eternity.
Invested in for eternity, man. What a message!
Yeah,
even more so about people that, you know, we're here to smash some excuses today. Can we do this, Mondoe? Can we get rid of? I can't.
Let's go.
I don't have time. This man went through 3. Look, if you're an athlete and you're losing all the time, man, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like losing. When you lose like that, there's nothing screaming at you other than, boy, you got to quit. There's something better to do. And what his grandmother did, sent him to the mirror, made him face himself. So I challenge you. Listen to this. Go in the mirror and do what he did. That's something that you can do right now.
Yes.
For how old you are, right? You can take this stuff and put it into play right now. You know, I mean, so I'm gonna give it back to you, man. But I just want to kind of pull some of those things and let people know that there's power in the message right now.
Come on.
You got it. So go ahead, man. I mean,
yeah. So no matter where you are, no matter what your circumstance, no matter what your situation is, I mean, we came on the show in complete vulnerability, right? This wasn't prepared. Geoff and I hadn't sat down and scripted this. This is raw. Like, y'all are getting raw, real. Jeffrey Tyson, Mondoe Davis. He called me like, hey, we need to reschedule. And I'm like, Geoff, let's go. You got the time slot blocked. Let's do this. No excuses.
No excuses, baby.
No excuses.
No, none. Zero.
Show up. Here's why, because tomorrow's not promised to you.
Yep. Yes.
Tomorrow is not promised to you.
Yes.
Right now, my wife is in Delaware. I'm at home with our 10 amazing children because she is with my sister-in-law who's 38 years old. She's still in her 30s. And she can't lift her legs up right now. She can't move her legs.
Boy.
We cannot take this life for granted. Every day counts. And when we wake up in the morning, that's a gift. It's a gift of life. We can't control the future. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, and we cannot change the past, but we can enjoy the gift of the present.
That's right.
Unwrap your gift right now and share it with the world.
The power in the now, Mondo. You know, I was talking to a neighbor of mine, and you know what? Man, this is fitting, so I'm going to bring it up. I hadn't seen him for a while, about a month, and I see him this morning, and he didn't look right. And I was thinking, man, you hanging out too late because he's a single guy, right? And, you know, he's a hustler, he lives, travels the world. He said, nah, man, you know, I lost my daughter, my baby girl, Mondo, in a car accident. I'm going to Austin. She's got 2 girls. You know, so we're talking about in the now and how quickly and short life is. Man, I felt like this applies, and that's why I'm bringing it up. You know, we don't know, and you said it. You're that close. You're that close, man, from the breakthrough. By the time we were finished, man, he was better. You know, I gave him a hug, and he said, "Thank you, man." And you know, we're going to go hang out and go to the golf range and just chat it up. You know, being there for him. And I went and sent a message to my daughter. I said, "Hey, I love you.
Yeah.
You know, I need you. I will always be here for you." And so, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about what you're saying, man, and I appreciate you sharing that, Geoff. Last year, right around this time, in this very room in my house, right over my shoulder where that light is right there, see that light?
Yeah.
That was a hospital bed a year ago. And this room that is now an office was a hospital room.
Wow.
And we had just moved into this house. We had been here a few months. And my wife's mother, at 58 years old, diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, said, "I want to come stay with you guys." And we transformed this room into a hospice and brought her here. And I held her face right there where that light is, right there. I held her face as she took her last breath on March 18th of 2022. And guess what? She said, "I got a lot that I need to accomplish on this earth." She wasn't ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So when we're talking about right now, we got to recognize that it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, we got a promise from God that he's going to love us and that the gifts and the calling of God are without repentance.
Yes.
But tomorrow's not promised. It's not us operating out of fear, operating out of purpose.
Yeah.
So we got to live life on purpose to fulfill our purpose.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Live life on purpose. And oh, by the way, that will take some courage. That will take some fortitude. That will take sitting there, being able to hold and watch your loved ones take their last breath and still show up.
That's right.
And still move forward.
Yes.
Man, you know, I remember you telling me about that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the blessings that we get in the saddest moments in our lives, man.
That's right. That's right. And Geoff, I just want to say, you know, when we met, you know, I got the chance to meet you and we hit it off.
Yep.
The Great American Speak Off. And then I had the chance to bump into you and your wife in the restaurant down at the Yard Burger.
Yeah.
For the evening. It was a pleasure meeting your wife as well.
Yes, sir.
And you know, here's the thing, our steps are ordered. So every day I'm believing to be in the right place at the right time for the right reasons with the right people.
Yes.
And when we understand that there's no accidents, there's no coincidence, but that our steps are ordered, then everywhere we are, there's purpose in the moment. And we got to be fully present and engaged to maximize the value of what God has for us in that moment.
Yeah.
So I just believe that that's why when you call me, I'm like, let's go right now. It doesn't need, it's not about perfection. It's about progression.
That's right. That's right.
So whatever dream is in your heart, whatever book you haven't written, whatever business you haven't started, whatever spouse you haven't gone up to and spoken to, because they don't know that you're their spouse yet.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's in your heart and you know it.
Yes, it is.
Why haven't you said something yet? Go talk to them. Go start a conversation. Go invite them to Starbucks. Get a cup of coffee. Take that step to fulfill the dream that's inside of your heart, because the dream giver gave you the dream.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we sit back and we say we're waiting on God, but God is waiting on us.
Yeah.
Because faith without works is dead. You can't have faith without the works.
Yes.
Faith works if you have your faith.
I love that. And I say God's holding the door for you.
That's right.
To walk through it, because he's a man of service.
That's right.
You know, we need to walk through that door. You know, and,
yes.
And, you know, my wife and I are talking a lot about, you know, when we're in a conversation, smile more, listen more. You know, that time is only that time we have right now. This time is the only time we have right now.
Right.
You know, and those things that you're doing. So what can you tell people that are in that space and they say, yeah, that's all good, guys. I just can't seem to turn it over and step into that. What can you give us for those?
Yeah. I'll start with this quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, and then I'm going to share a short poem that I wrote.
Yeah, love that.
And then I'll unpack a thought process that was downloaded to me that I actually put in one of my books that I think will be really helpful for people. So the quote from Dr. Martin Luther King is, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. You can't crawl, just keep it moving. Yeah. And some days you may not have the perfect day that operates just like your schedule said it should. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be discouragement. There's going to be things that come up that you didn't anticipate. And the question is, what kind of a mindset and perception are you going to have about that? Like yesterday, I'm working on a curriculum right now for schools to help students identify their purpose sooner in life. And yesterday, you guys know, I just told you that my wife's out of town and I'm handling everything with the kids. By the time I got home and I got done with all the different errands and things I need to do, I literally had 30 minutes and I hadn't eaten lunch yet. So I was thinking to myself, I need a nap right now. I got 30 minutes and I got to get back on this bus, start picking these kids up from school. But you know what, though? I said, no, if I can't run, which I'm not running right now on my schedule, I'm going to walk. And I couldn't even walk. I felt like I was crawling because I had a 30-minute block of time and I still hadn't even eaten. So guess what I did? What do you think I did, Geoff? Hey,
man, I know you did the next thing, man.
I did. I took that 30 minutes. I opened up my Chipotle. I ate my little Chipotle bowl. Yep. And I attacked that thing. And I not only got done with the intro, but I got part of the first chapter done in that curriculum. So the point is that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have this whole thing laid out. You don't have to have the whole plan in front of you and feel like you got to execute from A to Z. Start where you are. Take one step today.
Yeah.
Check this out. If you improve 1% every day for 100 days, in 100 days, you will be 100% better.
Amen. Yes. That's powerful. 1%. That's one step.
That's one step. One step. You can't do one step, do a half a step. You'll be 100% better in 200 days. Let's go.
Let's go. Do something.
Do something.
How do you do 100 push-ups one at a time, right?
That's right. So here's the poem that I wanted to share, and that is, when life doesn't add up for you, simply do the math. Add unto you only things that enhance you. Subtract any negative people, places, or things that distract you. Divide your time so your priorities are always in line.
Yeah.
And multiply the things that bring joy to your heart and mind.
Boy, listen, if you're out there and you're listening to this, hit the replay button. Go back, get your pen out like I got. Take some notes, my man. Just drop some powerful steps that you can use right now.
Come on.
Begin to change the thoughts and change the impression you have about yourself. And be like this man you see here, smiling, showing up powerfully. When there's a whole lot of things that could keep him hiding behind the curtain. Not today. Man, please go back and hit the replay button all the way to the beginning. But if you don't have time for that, just catch some things that he's talking about. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you, Geoff. So I want to share this concept that I feel will be really beneficial in a very practical manner regarding achieving your goals. I, as you know, have quite a bit on my schedule, you know, just with the demands of family and, you know, 10 children from the ages of 15 years old all the way down to almost 1. So a lot of you probably wondering, well, how many girls, how many boys? So we have 6 girls, we have 4 boys.
Oh, nice.
Girl, boy, 3 girls, 3 boys, and then 2 girls. So that's a total of 10 right there if you're doing the math. And with my wife and being engaged, we do a date night once a week. So our marriage is thriving. And, you know, like I said, she truly is my shero. She's an incredible woman. Yes. She's one of the strongest people I've ever met before. And she's always got a joyful attitude. You think my smile's big, wait till you see my wife. She
can't wait.
Warm up, you know?
Can't wait.
Yeah, so I was sitting at my desk and I was praying about exactly what you asked, Geoff. How is it that I can be more effective, more productive? And I was thinking through this because there were 2 different books that I wrote. One was 7 years ago, one was 5 years ago, one was a 60,000 word book, the other was a 50,000 word book. Neither one of them have been published. They're still sitting on my computer right now as we talk. Why? They got denied from 2 different publishers. I just never followed through to get it on the market, to get it out there. So I was sitting here thinking, okay, I feel like I got this idea and I need to be effective in making sure that I execute this and get it in people's hands, because it's not about trying to make money with this. It's not about all these other things. It's about helping people.
Yes.
And this is something that can help people.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there and I'm praying about it. And next thing you know, I get this idea as if I'm standing on this mountaintop and I'm looking across to another mountaintop at the summit. And I'm looking, but the sun's kind of beaming into my eyes. And I feel in my heart, like, that's where you're going. You're going to that mountain range right there. You're going to do it. But I'm thinking to myself, like, how am I going to get there? There's so much distance. There's so many obstacles in between. And this analogy is the same thing with us, with our dreams. We're standing there looking at our dreams. We can see it in our hearts. We can see it in our minds. We feel it in our bones. But we're looking at life and saying, there's so many obstacles in my way.
Yeah.
How do I do this effectively? How do I see the value in my identity, my authenticity, my ability to bring this to people and truly transform their lives?
Right.
And I had this visor on in this vision. I'm sitting at my desk, I'm praying, I had this visor on. So I took my head down and it blocks the sun, and then my eyes pixelate. I can see clearly now. And then this acronym for the word visor pops up. It's like a movie scroll at the end of a movie. And I'm like, what is this? And the V is vision. So the acronym is for the word visor, and the V is vision. That word in Hebrew literally means kazon. Kazon is defined in Hebrew as the ability to see the very end from the beginning. So I'm looking at this vision of being able to see the dream, to see what God has put in front of me, to see what He's put in my heart, and see the whole thing play out like a movie right in front of me.
Man, I'm feeling it.
Come on, man. Anything we're going to do in life, Geoff, just like you starting this show, just like you starting conversations with Geoff, just like you're doing the things that you're doing to help so many people, we got to be able to see the end from the very beginning. And that's what's going to drive us to go through those obstacles and adversity and continue to press on, and to take 30 minutes with a lunch break and work towards something, even though you don't really feel like it. You're tired.
That's it. That's it.
So you got to have vision. That's what everything starts from. Number 2, the I was ideation. There's good ideas and then there's God ideas. And a lot of times you got to be able to get past the good ideas to get to the God idea.
Yeah. Wow.
And once you put all the ideas on the board and you got all the different ideas and you've galvanized all the feedback that you can get about how to accomplish this vision, the S comes into place, which is strategy. What is your strategy to get there? If you don't know about the Eisenhower matrix, I encourage you to go learn about that. But basically it helps you to take your long to-do list, because I know you're busy. If you're watching this, you're a productive, high-level leader watching this right now. And you have a lot on your plate. You have a lot of pressure. You have a lot of different things coming at you. And how many know that having a vision alone is not enough? Having goals alone is not enough. You got to have a strategy to execute.
Yes. Yes.
So the Eisenhower matrix helps you to prioritize that long to-do list that you have and prioritize the categories of what needs to be done that's urgent and important, what's not urgent but yet still important, what's urgent and not important, which is the things that people try to put on your list to do.
That's right.
And then the things that are not important and not urgent, because you just need to stop doing those things altogether.
That's right. That's right.
So once you can look that up, Google it, it's all over the internet, but Eisenhower matrix, and that'll help you prioritize so you can execute effectively and focus on the right things so you're not getting pulled in so many different directions.
Love that.
So your vision, your ideation, your strategy, the O stands for operation. Another word for that is execution. Now it's time to go do it. It's time to go to the other mountaintop. Guess what? We're going to strap up. We got our strategy. We got our ideas. We're going to go down. We're going to cross this riverbank right here. We're going to build a little boat right there. Then we're going to hike back up. We're going to get rid of some of this gear, and we're going to summit the mountain. Let's go.
That's it, baby. Come on, man. I'm there.
Let's go. That's the operation. And guess what's going to happen, Geoff? When we do that, we're going to learn some things. We're going to learn about how we can be more effective, more efficient, and more timely. And then it brings you to the R, which is revision. In other words, to look at the vision again. And in that process, you revise. And guess what? You repeat the process over and over. And if you're anything like me, we ran this play live as a family, right? Because we got to kind of run this thing like a school. You know what I'm saying? We got designated chefs. We got a janitor. We got a registered nurse. You know, we got the whole, I'm the principal. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
We did this as a family. I'm like, oh, let's do it. I can see my whiteboard right now. It's up on the whiteboard. And as we started doing it, I started feeling like I was going in circles. I'm like, gosh, man, like, when are we ever going to get there? And then it came a point where the Lord opened my eyes to see Mondoe at the base of a mountain. Guess what? You're going around in a circle, but every time you do a switchback and you come up, guess where you're at?
Wow.
You're at a higher altitude. Yes. So guess what happens at a higher altitude? You got to shed some of the stuff that you brought.
That's it, baby.
That baggage.
Yes.
Number two, your vision changes at a different altitude. So you see that you didn't see before. You get more vision.
Yes.
He showed me a different perspective from a topographical view, looking from the top down. And if you think about a wide base, a wide circle, and you're looking at that thing, guess what? Every time you go around that mountain, your revolutions get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until the boom.
Yeah.
Hit that bullseye.
Bullseye, baby.
Bam. And now you're standing in the dream that once lived inside of your heart. And that is the Visor cycle of success. And you can name any successful organization, Geoff, any successful athlete, any successful leader. And guess what? They've gone through that process, whether they knew it or not.
Yes. Yes.
Think about it. I'll give you one example. We're in February. We're looking at Black History Month. Let's go with Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr. had a vision. He had a vision to see blacks and whites working harmoniously together, to see equality exercised in this great nation.
Right.
He had an idea by studying Mahatma Gandhi. And Mahatma Gandhi was successful in gathering people in nonviolent protests to move the government to change some of their decisions.
Yes.
And their effectiveness gave Martin Luther King Jr. the idea to try that here in the US.
Yeah.
So he implemented that strategy with the Montgomery bus boycott, and it worked. And then he continued to gather leaders to continue to exercise that as he operated with that nonviolent protesting strategy. And then he revised it and got better and better and got more and more funding and got more and more influence.
Yes.
To the point now where we have streets named after him.
Yes.
We have a national holiday named after him, and he is a legend in US history because of what he was able to accomplish. But he went through the Visor cycle of success to do it. And I can go through 10 or 12 different people who have done that in all different types of industries and organizations that have done the same. So I wrote a short book on this, and the book is called The Visor Cycle of Success. And it's available on Amazon. So if anybody wants it, you can just type in my name on Amazon. The book will come up. It's a very short read. It's available as an ebook. It's like 42 pages. But this specific model of achieving goals is something that was downloaded to me in a vision. I've been executing this for the last 6 months of my life, and it's been the most productive 6 months of my life.
Wow. Well, I wrote it down. Visor cycle of success.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And when we run this, we'll make sure it's in the chat so those folks know how to get that. Mondoe, man, this has been an incredible visit today. And
thank you so much, Geoff.
We're winding it down. You're welcome. So tell people how they, before you tell people how to get a hold of you and what you have going on, what's one thing that, I mean, you've left, I got pages of notes, so I'm, just laid it out there. What's one thing that you'd like to leave with us today that, based off of everything we talked about, or something that's at the tip of your tongue?
Yeah.
That people could take away today, man? What would that be?
Yeah, what I would say is something that I said earlier. I'll leave you with two quotes. The first is, You can't control the future, and you cannot change your past. But one thing you can do is enjoy the gift of the present. So take the present and recognize that there is a gift in that present. And when you represent your gift to the world, you can leave it a better place than you found it. Start today, right where you are. And it's not about perfection. It's about progression.
Yeah.
The second thing I'll say is this. A man who wants something will find a way. And a man who doesn't will find an excuse.
As we say at the beginning, we're going to leave something with you that may sting a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me thank our guest for the powerful message. How do people get a hold of you before you get out of here?
Absolutely. So you can go to my website, inspiringwithpurpose.com. You can reach out to me through the website. I'm also on social media as well. So if you want to find me on social media, Facebook is Mondoe Davis, Instagram, Davis Mondoe. So honored to be here, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for what you're doing in the community. Thank you for the way you're empowering leaders and spreading such a good message for people's lives to be transformed.
Well, man, listen, thank you. You're welcome. And as you said, when we met in Miami, I knew then that would not be the last time we see each other.
Right.
You know, and then you show up and do a powerful message on stage. And I will say that more will be revealed as we continue this journey. So God bless you. Blessings for you and your family as you get through these things. That van's going to get fixed with ease.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, back on the road. And you have a great, fantastic rest of your day, Marlon. We really appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Geoff.
Beautiful. So, hey, what did I tell you, right? I mean, man, when you see this one, you're going to be like, oh, man, I got to get more of this man. I got to get more of this information. I got to get more of him. The information's in the chat. He left so many things, and I always try to leave you with something that the guest has dropped off. I mean, the Advisor, Cycle of Success. Go get that book. Advisor, Cycle of Success, Amazon, Mondoe Davis. Go get that book. I mean, he talks about roadblocks. I mean, so many different things. You should be excited about the opportunity because it's all about, he talked about, it's not about the future, it's not about the past, it's the right now. And we are all able to make a difference in our lives. Forget about the things that have held us back and step into the things that this young man has shared today. So I thank you all. Make sure you tag your friends, share, subscribe, get this thing moving. Conversations with Geoff. And boy, look, we've got a whole year playing of powerful speakers like you just got a dose of. And stay tuned for more. And as we said at the beginning, change your thoughts and you can change your life, baby. You got to do the work. It's not going to happen. What you talk about, execution, we all can do that. So anyway, take care of yourself. Really appreciate everybody. Share, subscribe, like, tag your friends, ring the bell, and we'll see you next episode. Conversations with Geoff. Take care.